In the last video, we explored a little known Zion hike called Many Pools, which you can see on the map here. And in this video, we'll be swinging by its even lesser known next door neighbor. The funny thing about this video is we actually shot it first, and when we did this hike, we thought we were actually doing the real Many Pools trail. It wasn't until a little bit later on that we realized that we were one canyon off. For information on both canyons, you can head over to thatadventurelife.com. We filmed this video in March and there was still quite a bit of snow on the ground, so we made a slight detour at the beginning of the hike to explore a slot canyon that we found. And for some reason I've always wanted to break one of those Hollywood glass bottles over my head. I got to live that dream. Even V got in on the ice breaking fun. What can you say, we're kind of easily amused. And here is the icy slot canyon. Little did we know that if we would have kept going in this direction, we probably eventually would have ended up at the real Many Pools. We made it through with just our hiking shoes, but it is ice, so if you visit, please be careful because it's obviously quite slippery. After unknowingly running directly into the correct turnoff for Many Pools, we turned around and started heading the other direction. This meant we would be making one more run through that picturesque frozen slot canyon. One of the things that we love most about our adventures is when we unintentionally stumble into an awesome spot like this. We still wasn't done breaking the ice, so after one more quick karate demonstration, we continued on our way. If you're wanting to do this trail instead of Many Pools, you're going to come down from the parking lot, make a right, and that will take you around a bend to another beautiful slot canyon. This one's a little bit smaller than the first one that we checked out, but it is tighter, so it makes for some really cool pictures. There were also some low-hanging icicles here that gave us the chance to have a little bit of an icicle sword fight. Which I don't mean to brag or anything, but I'm still undefeated. After leaving the small slot canyon, you should see this tunnel on your right side. This is the entrance to Many Pools' awesome next door neighbor. This is a shorter trail with an overall distance of right around 2.1 miles and an elevation gain of 540 feet. Much like its neighbor Many Pools, you don't have to worry too much about getting lost here. This portion of the hike takes place in a canyon, so you can pretty much only go in two different directions. That being said, it's always a good idea to have a tracker on you just in case you need help. We only saw one other person on the entire trail, so it might be a little bit hard to get help if you need it. As we went deeper into the canyon, more and more pools started to appear. This is definitely one of the reasons why we thought we were on the right trail. This trail is way tighter than its next door neighbor, but it still offers stunning views of the surroundings. At a couple of points there are some decent sized slot canyons on the left side of the trail. They were all full of water when we went, so we couldn't really explore them, but if we went back and they were dry, I would love to check them out. The trail winds right along the tops of some of these slots and it can get a little bit slippery at times, so please be careful because it would be a pretty big fall in if you slipped. The trail constantly switches back and forth between sandy washes and slick rock sections. And it also had quite a few more water crossings than its next door neighbor, so you might want to wear shoes that you don't mind getting wet. After navigating our way through one more gully, we came to one of the biggest slick rock sections of this hike. At the time of our visit, it was bone dry and it gave us plenty of traction to climb it. But if you visit after a rain, that little waterfall on the left could be a bit bigger and that could make things difficult. There was also another short slot canyon here, but just like the other one, it was full of water, so it was impassable. Once you climb the slick rock, you are nearing the end of the canyon. Or at least you're coming up on the spot where we decided to turn around. We found ourselves at a very steep hill, but luckily it was covered in soft soil, so it gave us enough traction to dig in and make our way down. The walls started to get taller and closer as we neared the backside of the canyon. And soon we reached the turnaround point, or at least what was for us. If you have some solid climbing skills, you can probably make your way up the crack at the end of this canyon. But we were pretty happy with what we had seen, and it was starting to get just a little bit later in the day. We wanted to make sure we got back to the car before it got dark and very cold. As we said before, this is pretty much a canyon hike, so it has one way in and one way out. But there is one small exception. When we were hiking the Many Pools trail, we met a lady who said that she had hopped over to that trail from this canyon. We have no clue at what point in the trail she did it or how she did it. But I guess that it is possible to do it if you really want to. If you didn't spend much time looking over your shoulder on the way in, you'll be happy to know that the views on the way out are spectacular. And that's magnified even more if you go when there's snow, because it adds so much contrast to the red rocks. For some reason, at least to us, it seems like hikes usually go so much faster when you're on the way back. Before we knew it, we were at the tunnel at the beginning of the canyon again. It was getting a little bit colder at this point, so we found a bypass that would take us around the smaller icy slot canyon. Shortly after you leave the tunnel, it will be on your left side. I think that it mainly works for when you are on your way back to the car because there is a small drop off at the end and it would be pretty tricky to climb up. It wasn't too hard to jump down, but you can see the drop off to the left of V right here. And from this point is pretty much just a short walk and a tiny climb back to the car. It's so funny to think that this was not the hike that we were looking to do, and we wouldn't even know it was the wrong one for a couple more months. You can definitely call this a happy accident, and we sure are glad that we found it. And that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoy our adventures, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe because those are the best things that you can do to support this channel. Check us out on Instagram at @thatadventurelife_official. And for all the information about this hike and other awesome things to do in Zion, head on over to thatadventurelife.com.